Viewers, welcome to the Policy Times. You are watching India's only channel on public policy and foreign affairs. And I am your host Akram Haq. With me I have Dr. Raj Agarwal. Sir is very famous in his own domain. Dr. Raj Agarwal is Director of Center for Management Education at AIMA, Association of All India Management Association. Sir, thank you so much for giving us your bites.
Thank you.
So today you organized a report launch of on the data opportunity, the promise for India's digital trade. So why have you taken this initiative?
Actually, in coming years, what we are witnessing that digitization has disrupted all areas of economy. In fact, it has affected all sections of society, but economy is one of the vital area. Now, as we know, after liberalization, globalization, foreign trade, this has become one of the important instruments of generating our GNP. So currently this more than 40% economy of India that is based on foreign trade. Therefore, it is very important for us to adopt all kind of this major changes which are taking place. But when we talk about adopting all kind of this digital disruption in our foreign trade, then this question is becoming very obvious that what are the challenges which we are facing in adoption of digital trade. Then challenges, and your forum is for policy forum, so challenges basically are in a process of policy formulation. Now there are the certain policies where there is total uncertainty, and government is also trying to find it out ways and means by appointing several committees, several studies, by conducting several studies, by appointing ministerial group, that how the issue of this data localization, cross-border data privacy, and how the issue of MSME, and then most importantly how the issue of retail trade. And when we talk about this retail trade, so obviously this Kirana trade, and we know that large number of population that is engaged in this trade. So these are the issues where not only right kind of policy framework is required, but right kind of this ecosystem is required. Side by side, we have to give promotion, development, and we have to sustain that development. And specifically the development of this MSME sector, which is contributing more than 40% in our export growth, is providing maximum number of employment. Whether these industries, they are getting a sustainable growth in era of digitization, and what are the changes which are needed, which we should adopt in this era of digitization in MSME. Side by side, we have to see that these MSMEs, whether they are able to cooperate or take the kind of this advantage by associating with large-scale industries, or these are going to be wiped out in a competition of giants. So these are the issues which are very, very important and significant for us to assess, and then create a kind of awareness that what are the digitization, like for example app, how MSME they can adopt this app, WhatsApp, and how these MSME they can through notification can get their advertisement, promotions. So if they are going to adopt, so obviously they are going to be benefited. There are some big players, they are like IBM, like Amazon, etc. They are collaborating with the MSMEs in this particular area, but still it is a long journey. Likewise in retail trade, how small traders, how these artisans, how the product of this MSME, how the product of this very, very small unorganized traders, which is the backbone of Indian economy, or which is known as informal economy, they can participate and they can deliver their goods on e-platform. They can be a party in this e-commerce. So these are the changes which are definitely required at a policy level. Side by side at a policy level, there is a need to develop a proper infrastructure, e-infrastructure.
So you have almost answered all my questions.
Yes, yeah. So e-infrastructure, government has appointed several committees. Government is working, organizations, this society at a large, various business organizations, various associations. AIMA is also in a forefront in organizing various conferences, events, conducting these kind of studies by which we can spread this thought and by which we can educate and by which we can also provide inputs to the government in formulation of policies.
Right. So when I was hearing the sessions, I was missing one of the most important parts, sir. When we talk about digital trade, there are some disruptive technologies we are going to change or transform the way trade would be done. They're like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, blockchain, digital transformation, Internet of Things, cloud computing. So how from here, how are you taking this agenda forward so that the country can have a very comprehensive, not only policy, but also an infrastructure to capitalize on the opportunity that is there?
Actually, you see that here we are conducting, like few months back, we have organized one conference and which was specifically focused what you have talked about this disrupting technologies. Right. So here specifically for this business perspective, we have discussed that how artificial intelligence is changing the entire landscape, how this is what that cloud computing is affecting, how blockchain is going to affect the supply chain process. So how this consumer awareness through this artificial intelligence, etc., that could be created. So here, obviously, this research in India, this is very limited. This is broadly known as Industrial Revolution 4. Right. So India has been impacted, but as compared to rest of the world, rest of the developed nation, impact is lesser. And these kind of technologies definitely are going to impact Indian economy in a big way in coming years. There are the issues that how these are going to create employment and how these are going to create the displacement of employment. There are the issues how we are going to create the skills, how we are going to create the competencies, right, how we can introduce various kind of training programs, how we can introduce various kind of research programs, how we can introduce various kind of programs in curriculum, in management curriculum, in engineering curriculum. So these are the steps gradually we have started adopting. India is quite proactive, and likewise you see that these kind of technologies, disruptive technologies, we have to analyze, we have to assess in a wider framework, and this framework is this sustainability, inclusiveness of our economy, because India is again having a big problem of unemployment. So means that if although this number of studies have been conducted and there is no concrete evidence by which we are going to say that there would be unemployment, but there are evidence that there would be a disruption in employment, right? Displacement will take place. So when displacement is going to take place, so side by side, how we are going to create the employment opportunity. So then a kind of this balance or ecosystem, this is going to be maintained.
Excellent, sir. Now, sir, when we talk about digital trade, the final question is that without the young population of this country, they are the ones, I think, who would be able to capitalize technology and technology revolution. Are we taking any, what would be your suggestion to involve and engage more and more young population so that they can not only connect, we can not only promote them through entrepreneurship, so that they also take part of the digital trade and foreign trade and export that we are talking about?
Actually, yeah, this is a very relevant issue. Recently, in one committee of this AICT, this chaired by this Mr. Reddy, he is a chairman of IIT Chennai, governing council. So this I too was a part of that committee. So this committee also assess the requirement in engineering curriculum. curricula that what are the requirement in terms of this manpower planning. So when this talk of this manpower planning that was there, so within this committee that too was discussed that how we could create more and more employment, how we could create the kind of this opportunities through impacting or through introducing these kind of technologies in a curricula. So this committee has taken a view. So in engineering curricula, all these kind of this disruptive technology they have been introduced. Likewise, most of this management institute, most of the universities, they are very proactive in introducing these kind of technology.
Yes, private sector organizations or institutions are definitely taking forward. Now, as we came to know from Dr. Agarwal that AICT has taken a decision that they will incorporate all these disruptive technologies which are coming on into play. So just to summarize, Dr. Raj Agarwal discussed, so he was the leader or part of the AIMA, which has launched a report on digital trade, and India has amazing and immense and unlimited opportunity to capitalize on this sector. Now this sector can, as we also came to know, that this can promote MSME and SMEs in India as our youngsters are more pro technology. So thank you, keep watching the Policy Times, and thank you so much, sir, for giving the interview.